Hey there guys, so with Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker out on Blu-ray, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to rank all the Star Wars films. Now I did do this list a couple of years ago, but since we have the release of Rise of Skywalker now and my opinions have changed, I thought, you know what, let's do it. And as a massive Star Wars fan, I appreciate what every film was going for. I don't think there's really a terrible film. So let's start with number 11, and let's be honest, we know what's going to be at number 11. At number 11 is Attack of Clones. Now, I don't hate Attack of Clones. I like it enough. I mean, yes, there's some terrible dialogue and the way they use green screen. And I think there's aspects handled way better in like the novels and the Clone Wars animated series. And C-3PO switching bodies with a battle droid. But I give it credit where it deserves. Like Christopher Lee as Count Dooku is exceptional. The arena scene is really fun. And I think George Lucas crafted a really great scene involving Anakin's mum getting killed by the Sand People, which led to his first downfall to the dark side. I can't... Yes, I think it's the weakest Star Wars film, but I don't think it's that bad today. At number 10 is Solo, a Star Wars film. Now, at best, it's a fine movie. I wasn't really blown away the first time I saw this, apart from that Darth Maul cameo, but nobody really asked for this, including me. My vision of Han Solo's origins would have been great if we got a great Star Wars writer and made a novel out of this. I mean, I find this film at times to be simple, predictable, and have some really sluggish pacing, but I give credit to it. I think Alden Ehrenreich and Donald Glover are great as these young versions of these beloved characters, and we got to really dive into the crime world of Star Wars that I would have loved to see more of. And number 9 is The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, sue me. Now, I think The Rise of Skywalker is a solid movie, but it is the safest movie in the franchise, and I appreciate what J.J. Abrams is going for. He does bring the best elements from The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, and the main trio does have a lot more to do this time around. It's not like there's anything wrong with The Rise of Skywalker, it's the fact there isn't anything special about it either. I mean, it's great to see Billy D. Williams back as Lando Calrissian, and all those voice cameos at the end of the film is kind of a dream come true. But that's just fan service, and the film relies too much on fan service. And just watching this film, you could clearly tell there wasn't a plan for this trilogy from the beginning. And considering this was meant to be the end of this trilogy and this 9-film saga, it's kind of disappointing. At number 8, I went for The Last Jedi. Now, I appreciate what Rian Johnson was going for. He made a Star Wars film unlike any other. It took risk. We got to see a character study on Luke Skywalker, who is run down and broken. The dynamic between Kylo and Rey is great, and the throne room sequence is my favourite scene in the sequel trilogy. The Last Jedi tells us it's okay to fail as long as you face it. Even a legend like Luke Skywalker makes mistakes. But The Last Jedi does have some major flaws, like they introduce new characters like DJ and Rose that don't really work, and the whole adventure for Rose and Finn, I mean, you can cut that out of the film and it wouldn't make a difference. It'd probably make the film a lot better. And does every scene, does it really need comedy? And number 7 is The Phantom Menace. Now, I've seen this hundreds of times. I saw this twice when it first came out back in 1999. I owned it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. I even seen it in IMAX back in 2012. Now, The Phantom Menace gets too much hate than it deserves today. I mean, compared to the recent Star Wars films, it's one of the better ones. Yes, there's some issues like the character choices. I mean, the way they portray Anakin Skywalker and Jar Jar Binks. But there's so much in this film I just adore. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, is great. I mean, the pod racing is so much fun to watch, and I hope we get more of that someday. And it introduces arguably my favourite villain in the franchise, Darth Maul, which he became an important part in Clone Wars and Rebels, and it has my favourite lightsaber duel in the franchise with the Duel of Fate score. At number 6 is Revenge of the Sith. Now, I love this film. It reached the scale of epicness of what Star Wars should be. The writing and the atmosphere is the darkest and the maturest that Star Wars has ever been. So many great, incredible moments like the Opera House scene, the lightsaber battles, and that Order 66 sequence with the John Williams score attached to it is just a punch to the gut. And number 5 is The Force Awakens. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched this film, I cried like 3 times. Yes, it runs parallel with A New Hope, but nobody cares. It's the most fun film in the franchise. I love it. The characters that he introduced, whether it's Rey, Finn or Poe, are well cast, witty, charming, have great dynamics with the original trilogy characters. I mean, this was the first film for the Disney era, and it's also a love letter to Star Wars. It went back to practical effects. Even though I have issues with the Rise of Skywalker, I gotta give credit to J.J. Abrams because he did give new life to this franchise. And number 4 is Return of the Jedi. Now my only nitpick is that it does feel like you got 2 scripts into one. First you have the Jabba Palace stuff, and then you get the Battle of Endor. But this has so much payoff, whether it's Han and Leia together, or the second Death Star getting destroyed by Lando, or Vader redeeming himself. Out of all the films, this does a great job of balancing these characters in different scenarios, whether it's Han and Leia and Chewie on the ground of Battle of Endor, or Lando in the space battle, or the battle between Luke and Vader in the throne room. I mean, Ewoks taking on the Empire isn't really a dumb idea, really. I mean, you got a reasonable sized faction of the Empire taking on native hunters who probably have the upper hand because it's on their turf. And number 3 is Rogue One. Now, I read all the novels related to this, so I have a better understanding of the characters and the plot more than others. It has my favourite third act out of all the films. Battle of Scarif is easily my favourite space battle. It did a great job of capturing war. It's horrific, it's heartbreaking, it's dirty. Director Krennic is easily one of my favourite villains in the franchise now. And they brought back one of my favourite villains, Grand Moff Tarkin, and the Darth Vader hallway sequence gives me chills every time. And number 2 is the one that started all, A New Hope. Luke Skywalker gazing at the suns of Tatooine with the John Williams score doesn't get better than that. I mean, it's a great introduction into the Empire, the Rebellion, the Forces, mythology. It really sparks our imagination. It was able to say so much with so little, and we all wish we were these characters going on these adventures. So my favourite Star Wars film of all time, and it's pretty much my favourite film of all time, Empire Strikes Back. It took the characters, the world building, the mythology to a whole new level thanks to Ivan Kushner's direction and a bigger budget. It wasn't afraid to be darker, more aggressive, and end on a downer. There's so many emotions to it. The planets are beautifully detailed, whether it's Hoth, Dagobah, Bespin, Cloud City. It has my favourite John Williams score. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, share and subscribe. If you can rank all the Star Wars films, please comment down below. I really like to see it. Go check out my Facebook, my Twitter and my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I got your back.